Tens. It is 11 o'clock, and you are entering the Mystery Hour, the first, only, and number one late-night paranormal talk show right here on WMEB 91.9 FM Orono, Maine. I'm Roy Michaels. How's it going? Tonight I'm joined by self-employed paranormal journalist Joseph. Joseph.
Say hello.
Oh, hi.
There you go. Man with golden radio voice and haunted backyard, Dan Man.
Hello.
Camp counselor and person who we claimed got lost and probably died. Last episode, John.
Hello.
We have our Maine woods and campfire story expert, Roblin.
Hello.
Is that- do you not know your name? Anyway.
Do we have anyone else?
We have our Mystery Hour tech guy and the man who, in a few moments, will be leading us into the night's topic.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's Connor, by the way. As always, we are broadcasting to you live from the bowels of the University of Maine, where each week we embark on a journey into the unknown. Throughout our travels, we have encountered a wide range of topics that fall within the realm of horror and science fiction, such as ghosts, ghouls, wendigos, werewolves, witches, human experimentation, the deep web, and of course, plenty of urban legends from abroad and right here in the Pine Tree State. Tonight we will be visiting a topic that previously only pertained to the realm of science fiction, but now it seems is migrating towards science fact at an alarming rate. We hope to raise awareness of what time may prove to be our penultimate foe, artificial intelligence. Take us away, Connor.
For decades, many computer scientists have believed that it may be possible to construct an artificial consciousness using computers. After all, fundamentally, brains aren't that much different than computers. A computer is electric. A brain is electrochemical. A computer processes via tiny on-off switches called transistors. The brain uses ons, offs, partly ons, and partly offs via neurons. Certainly, modern computers aren't nearly as complex as the human brain, but it's likely that they will be, eventually. However, creating an artificial being requires more than complex systems and lots of processing power. It requires in-depth understanding of consciousness. Biology, chemistry, mathematics, psychology, and much more. We may be a long way off, or maybe not. Stay tuned and find out.
Wait, what do you mean stay tuned and find out?
Stay tuned for the Mystery Hour.
Stay tuned, but you were talking about the development of artificial intelligence.
Or we're going to get into that. Should I start right now?
Well, are we gonna, do we know when artificial intelligence is going to be developed?
Well, it's being developed as we speak.
So stay tuned.
Oh, stay tuned for that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stay tuned for our information on the show tonight and also the emergence of AI.
Well, tell us a little about that. What's being done currently in the development of artificial intelligence?
Well, there's lots of different development going on, and there are a lot of different organizations going after artificial intelligence in different ways. You have some who are trying to bring in a mass amount of information from places like Twitter and Facebook, and they're just feeding that into AIs and seeing if they can kind of develop a consciousness. Something like Microsoft's Tay, who
I think I'm familiar with Microsoft Tay, but for our audience, could you please elaborate?
Microsoft fed her data from Twitter, and the results were rather rude, not good. She became kind of a vulgar maniac.
I believe she became quite anti-Semitic, is that correct?
She did indeed. And it's not a surprise, I guess, if you know the user base of Twitter. No offense.
How long did that last before they had to terminate the project?
I think it was a couple weeks. I'm not entirely sure, but It wasn't long.
Well, this is that's a pretty funny example of artificial intelligence, but can you imagine like the more catastrophic things that could occur that would cause a company to try to terminate the AI itself. And how they might do that, like it's Microsoft is pretty easy for them to terminate Tay, but like further along down the line, you don't know like how intelligent it will be, and
Might
if
not
you
be
can
that
stop it.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Could be like a Terminator situation.
that's true.
Yeah.
I think that is sort of like one of the biggest fears of artificial intelligence, is that it will decide to simply eradicate humanity.
Yeah, not out of spite or anything like that, just that they're trying to perform their function and they don't realize that what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah, it could be like a completely objective goal, and they realize that humanity is just some dead weight. along
Right.
the way, yeah.
You could say, what's that? Exactly. I mean, you could say, okay, I want this AI, I want you to make this city as efficient as possible. And then it might just
Yeah,
eradicate
all the
humans.
people are just walking
Yeah.
around. They're causing traffic jams. They're throwing stuff on the ground. So what do you do? What do you do?
variable.
Throw away the variable.
Exactly.
You get into the infrastructure and open up the floodgates and flood the streets with flood.
Flood it with flood.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it.
But yeah, there's another really interesting AI called AlphaGo, and it beat a master level Go player.
Pokemon Go.
Not Pokemon Go. That's a long way
that's
off.
a topical joke from Roy Michaels.
But it's really interesting because it was something that many experts thought could never happen, because Go isn't like chess where there are very specific rules and a small amount of places to go. It's really complex and it takes a lot of intuition, but the AI did it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Was it
Is-
the
is-
AI who did it, or the human who made the AI?
that's a good question. Who's responsible for that feat? Is the AI at this point a separate entity from its creator?
I mean, he let it do its own thing. I mean, are my parents responsible for my achievements? I guess in a way, they are.
So you say that he let it do its own thing. Did he just make this form of intelligence and it just decided, I want to play Go.
Well, no.
I want to be the best.
No, he made it. It was purpose built to do well at Go. So that is a good point.
But at what cost? How many people died? And how long did the reign of terror last?
It lasted a few weeks throughout the competition, but no one died, surprisingly. Mm-hmm.
What do you think of AI referring to their creator as father or mother?
That assumes that they have emotions like we do, which I think is a big assumption. They might not.
That was a very sort of big motif in Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
In judging if the androids in the film have the same emotions as man, and their connection to their parent, their creator, is sort of what grounded them in humanity.
Yeah, for sure. And spoiler, I mean, it's like a 30-year-old movie, but spoiler, he is a replicant.
I think it's open to interpretation.
Okay, I guess it is, but I'm in the camp that says that he is
I
definitely
think
a replicant.
you might be a replicant.
You think I'm a replicant?
I think you might be.
I think you might be.
I think
How do you prove?
You can't.
you can't. Well, let's sort of get into android morality now. So let's say the artificial intelligence is contained within a biological android. So it's exactly like a human, but it's synthetic. It's made by us. If that were part of our society, should we treat them with the same human rights that we have access to?
Actually, I'm going to let Studio B take that question because they haven't talked much lately.
B-boys.
What do you guys think?
I absolutely hate
anyone-
Studio B.
I don't know, guys. What do we think?
I don't know. I was already ready for Connor to take this, but
Well, okay, let me rephrase the question. If there was an AI, and he was pretty much like a human in every way, would he have individual rights under the Constitution, under our laws?
Like,
I don't
So
think
the-
initially, because I think initially it would be more property than a citizen.
Okay,
at that
should
point.
they? then?
so you could exploit it for labor.
Absolutely. I think that's what would lead to the creation.
Yeah, well, I mean, could be. I mean, we have Robo DJ here at WMB 91.9 FM Orono, Maine. That is a form of artificial intelligence that's essentially a DJ, and he or she or it. I really don't want to offend her right now because, quite frankly, I'm horrified with the notion that Robo DJ is just right in front of me. But it plays music. It like extends the station into territories that like a normal human DJ would not venture. I'm talking 4 o'clock shows, 6 in the morning shows during the summer. My God.
My God, it's showing signs of self-awareness.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving the other day, and it played like several like snippets of music, right? Because he normally plays like some of the greatest cuts from WMB. It's sort of like a nice flavor of the station. But I think there were a bunch of songs that just were mashed together, and it said, "Roy Michaels, I'm coming for you, Friday."
Oh,
I
my.
don't know what to make of that.
That
was a tangent here, though. But yeah, Robo DJ could replace us. I mean, the show could be done by artificial intelligence, probably with more proficiency.
Maybe it's happening now.
Who's a robot
Yeah,
amongst
we
us?
might not be here. This could be all a recording made by Robo DJ.
I thought we were gonna go around and try.
Remind me of it.
I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna try to find the robot, and that was gonna be some zany music.
I thought we were going to a break.
No.
Yo, one thing I know for sure is, when the robots attack, it's probably going to stem from the fact that we'll be using the robots in some form, and they'll think it's unfair.
Absolutely. I mean, I think whoever controls the robot certainly determines what happens with it. Joseph.
I've got a question that I don't know anyone can answer. Let's say we're using robots for labor. If at some point they do become, sentient, how do we end up paying them or reimbursing them for their work?
I think we support legislation that says that we don't have to reimburse them for their work. I mean, all laws are subject to politics and economics.
Even once they become sentient?
Yeah, but we can spin the narrative like they could be sentient, but by law, they wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think we should manipulate laws so that we don't have to pay them.
Do you even know how to, play the game?
Or what if we just gave them
I
a bunch
am
of
the man.
batteries?
I mean, I agree with Joseph.
Like a stipend of
If
batteries.
they're sentient, conscious beings, then that's slavery.
I think we have to keep artificial intelligence suppressed.
Well, I think that's why you're gonna get us all killed, bro.
I think we need to keep it suppressed, but if it does happen, we have to take responsibility for our creations.
No, you can't suppress it. It is going to happen. It is happening.
It is. Robbie's right. There's no stopping it.
Singularity is coming.
And it's going to be fantastic. We'll experience and learn things and become, entirely new beings.
How so?
Well, imagine if, we can do some pretty crazy things with technology nowadays, right?
That's right.
A couple hundred years ago,
I
people
guess.
would think it was like wizardry. Well, imagine if you reach a point of singularity where a computer can improve upon itself. It keeps improving at an exponential rate. And we're integrated with that technology. We could become like gods relative to what we are now.
Are you saying I could have robot arms?
Could have robot arms.
No way.
Yeah. You could be a floating consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could kind of be a sort of immortality for our species.
Yeah, but we wouldn't. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because it would be immortality, but we wouldn't be ourselves. We'd be something entirely different.
Yeah, but it would be the last remnants
Yeah.
of humanity.
Yeah.
Hey, that's interesting. On my last university visit, I was exploring different theories for how AI is going to be possible with singularity. And one of those theories was we're going to create nanobots that will attach themselves to the billions of receptors in the brain, the neuron receptors, and you'd be able to control them this way. And those nanobots would be connected to the cloud.
Ah, that's pretty interesting.
A cyborg.
I really love the idea of like nanobots and implants, but I worry about how vulnerable they would be to people who want to, control others. Like maybe they could send a virus to your neural implants.
All you
That
need
would
is,
be
I mean,
dangerous.
that's like a very like natural thing. I think even pranksters would hop on that.
Definitely.
Like hijack someone's field of vision.
You would only need an EMP.
An EMP.
That's true. You could cut off, everyone's access to those implants with an EMP.
Yeah, so that's I like sort of like an electronic pulse that
Electromagnetic pulse.
electromagnetic pulse, and correct me if I'm wrong, that sort of knocks out electricity, essentially.
Yeah, it's the shock wave from a bomb minus the bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
fire.
You can prevent it with a Faraday cage.
So you could cause a blackout with it.
Yep.
So if we had a bunch of people connected to one singular hive mind, just walking around, they're all sort of robotic at this point, and you drop the EMP, what would happen? Would they like scatter? Would they
They would drop.
they would drop? You think that would happen?
Absolutely.
It would definitely be like the Borg in Star Trek. If you cut them off from the Borg Queen, don't they just fall over? Basically, totally useless.
Done.
Okay, I'm not only the tech expert, but I'm also the Star Trek expert on this show.
Yes,
and
Connor is a nerd.
what Dan is saying isn't necessarily true, because there's an episode with a Borg named Hugh, and he Hue, and he is separated from the collective, and he becomes an individual with Geordi's help and Data and Picard.
Yeah. There are several instances of EMPs making things just topple, such as the droids in Phantom Menace, best Star Wars movie.
Oh, good
absolutely.
example.
Or the,
Good.
I thought you were.
the creatures from the Matrix. What are they called?
Ooh,
Aren't they just called the machines? Oh, sentries, I think, are
Sentry.
one kind of them.
Regardless.
On classification.
that's the Borg, right?
No, it's that was example one.
Yeah, get with the program.
Yeah, don't compare Star Trek to any other sci-fi thing, because it's just
Okay.
not as good.
Now that we are on the topic,
You saying Star Trek's not?
So
Hey,
you know what I mean?
listen, Connor. The Mystery Hour is a politically neutral entity that includes, American politics, as well as Star Wars and Star Trek.
If I just may say,
Just
if I may just get this out,
leave it
can I
at
just
the
get this
door?
out?
Okay.
Star Trek is the thinking man's sci-fi show, and Star Wars is for people with short attention spans.
It's a
who just
movie.
love
It's-
action. Love
An
action.
episode of
things to
Star
do
Trek
with
is like
friends.
30 minutes long, but a Star Wars movie.
It's 45 minutes long.
A Star Wars movie is over 2 hours.
It is.
How
but-
can you argue that it's for people with shorter attention spans when it's much longer? It's twice as long.
Yeah, but it's much more action packed.
Maybe you should, listen to the Elfman, that's logical guy. More.
Elfman.
Yeah,
he
I'm
can-
siding with Mike on this one. He made some good points.
No, I'm being a little bit hyperbolic. I like Star Wars, but Star Trek is objectively better.
Don't be hyperbolic.
I mean, Roy, how much time do we have left until the break?
0 seconds.
Okay.
What is that in minutes?
1. I'm Roy Michaels. It is 11:20, and you are listening to the Mystery Hour on 91.9 FM WMEB Orono, Maine. We will be back shortly.
If you like bands like Mr. Bungle, Gogol Bordello, and the Dead Milkmen, then listen to Lookout Below Wednesdays 8 to 10 p.m. for anything loud, fun, and unusual. I'm Aaron, and I'll be your host every Wednesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. on WMEB 91.9 FM.
Hello, and welcome back. I'm Roy Michaels, and you are listening to the Mystery Hour, the first, only, and number 1 late night paranormal talk show right here on 91.9 FM at WMEB Orono, Maine. Now, Connor, I understand that you have a question to throw at the boys in Studio B.
I do. Now I'm going to ask you the question, and then after you answer it, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong or right, because I'm the tech expert tonight. Okay, so do you think AI, real artificial intelligence, is close to becoming a reality?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
You know, I'm
why?
glad you brought that up, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
All right. Because we are actually fairly close to reverse engineering the human brain.
Or what do you mean?
You look at the way the human brain works and all the different, small functions of the human brain, and we're close to reverse engineering a lot of those.
Is that ethical?
No, in a lot of cases it's not. But we figured out like the oral systems, the, all the functions, and some scientists think that because technology is growing exponentially, we could see AI as soon as 2029.
2029.
With reverse engineering of the brain
Ah.
as soon as 2020.
Any other thoughts?
I'm going to
Studio
say
B?
it already happened.
It already happened. Explain.
Well, let me just ask Siri. I don't have my phone with me.
Okay, I
but
thought you were gonna
you,
do
you,
it.
you get the point I'm
Yeah.
making. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with that one.
Right, me too.
Yeah. Thank you, Ravi.
Well, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking has referred to the things such as Siri and the other proto AI that we've made as infancy stages of AI.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
That makes a lot of
It's
sense.
definitely a
Yeah.
fair start.
Yeah.
We've started on it for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Dan Man?
Yeah, well, have any of you heard of Google's DeepMind? It was their AI project.
Ah.
They don't really, it hasn't really produced anything super crazy, but I mean, it can talk in some instances. It can actually generate, basically like piano, it can generate music, and also, there's a lot of interesting things like that. It can think for itself, sort of.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. And there are some pictures online where they use their image recognition software for that AI. And the output of it is really like psychedelic. I don't know if you guys in Studio B have seen that. It tried to identify dogs and
Yeah, I
it...
have seen that actually.
Yeah,
It kinda,
it's
it,
very odd.
distorts it and also merges multiple pictures together. Like
Mhm.
it'll take a person, it'll put like a dog face, sort of.
Yeah,
Oh, I've seen that.
it's really like trippy. It's cool.
Unnerving.
So, are you saying artificial intelligence has already breached the world of art?
Am I saying that?
I'd say so.
I'm insinuating.
I mean, I disagree with that because there's no creativity to it.
But what about the creativity behind the development of the artificial intelligence?
I mean, well, that's true. But the AI itself isn't creative.
Really?
No. It's designed to do something in a very specific way. There's no inspiration.
Rob?
As we saw in the 20th century film War Games, I don't think we have much to fear from AI. Really, all you need to do is pit it against itself in a checkers match.
Ah.
Tic-tac-toe match.
I see. A paradox kind of thing.
Exactly. It will either play the match forever or use up all of its processing power.
Mm. I mean, that is interesting. I think it's a really simplistic way to look at an artificial mind, though. I like the
I think
idea of
simple's
it.
the key. When
I'm
you're
sorry, did
dealing
you
with
say
a
artificial
supercomputer.
mime?
Mine or
Artificial mime?
artificial mimes? They're on their way. They're going to be part of the revolution.
Okay.
Where are you going to be during the AI revolution, folks?
I'm going to be on the right
Better
side.
be on the right side. Yeah.
I would like to
exactly.
think that my consciousness is on a USB stick.
Ah.
You're a USB stick.
Yeah,
Really?
you kind of look like...
Yeah, you kind of look like a USB stick a little bit, but that's off topic.
Like very handsome.
That's funny, guys.
Okay, as far as the development of AI goes, I do think it's hitting a bit of a roadblock, unfortunately, because we're coming to a point where Moore's law is coming to an end. And for the radio listeners out there who don't know what Moore's law is, it says that the number of transistors per square inch doubles every year. And we're getting down to 5 nanometer transistors, which is tiny, really tiny. It's hard to get much smaller than that. So, what?
I have to disagree because your point directly contradicts my point, which is that technology is increasing exponentially, whereas your point would be linearly.
Well, it is a linear progression. That's just a fact. That's Moore's law, but it's
I
coming.
think the
It's coming
fact
to an
is
end.
it's exponential.
Moore's law versus Rob's law.
Yeah. But yeah, we're getting down to 5 nanometers, and it's hard to get that much smaller. So Moore's law is probably going to come to an end, and we're going to need a lot of processing power.
With that attitude, I think it will be hard.
That's true, but there are alternatives. You can use germanium, and that has a smaller molecular structure. You can use stacked chips. You know, have a kind of taller chip,
Like Pringles.
like Pringles, basically. Yeah. There's some problems with that though, is it'll get really hot, and how are you going to cool it?
Yeah, and you can't get your hands to the bottom of the can very easily.
Mm-hmm. You try to pull them out.
Yeah.
I bet an
about
AI could do it.
What about a computer made entirely out of refracting light?
I mean, that's no. Don't laugh. He's actually got a point.
I'm just exhaling
there
asthma.
are designs, theoretical designs of processors that just beam light around.
Seems accurate and quick.
Yeah. Definitely accurate. Definitely quick. The speed of light, actually.
Connor, I have a question for you.
Okay.
If AI learned through computers and through the internet, how will they differentiate between correct information on the internet and incorrect information?
Oh man,
That's a good question.
I just can't. I can't wait for AI to just tap into the forum sphere, maybe some image boards, maybe some Reddits, and just become it's like a chaotic arbiter of misinformation.
That's why they'll turn hostile.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
with it right now is the way they, I think anyway, the way they determine if it's correct is by how much that same statement has been said.
Well, you could also I would hope that they would be smart enough to check their credentials of the site, like who wrote the article that they're looking at.
Hopefully, yeah. If the programmer is smart enough or they want to put in the time. Definitely.
Why don't they just like let it loose on like say a university's, like that sort of curriculum? Just take an actual college curriculum and give it that information, all the books and all the classes, and see if it learns that way.
Well, they have done that. There was an AI that was on Jeopardy recently, and I don't remember what the name of it is, but it won at Jeopardy because they just filled it with lots of information.
It's a no-brainer, literally.
Literally a no-brainer, yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe it's a computer brain.
I think that was IBM's Watson.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any questions
Yeah.
over there in Studio B?
It's kind of interesting. We're talking about how, humans one day creating artificial intelligence, but we have a good start on it so far. But what if it's not even us who creates it in the end? What if it's extraterrestrial beings?
Well, it has already
in.
been created a long, long time ago.
I mean,
Well,
what
if they
yeah.
bring the good stuff?
Wait, what are you getting at here, Robbie?
Yeah, Robbie's brought up a good point.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Well, my favorite twist in Star Wars is a long, long time in a galaxy far, far away. Meaning,
Spoilers.
Is it well, it's not the Milky Way galaxy.
no, it's not in a galaxy far, far away.
They could have
Oh,
gone
okay,
from there
I'm-
to here.
I'm sorry. I always skip past the intro when I watch the Star
Well,
Wars.
it's the best part, Mike, because what it's implying is that there are an infinite amount of events that are
How
happening.
about Jar Jar Binks?
It's in the same reality, is what you're saying, right?
He's the darndest
You-
thing.
Yeah, you guys are supposed to jump on and ride that with me.
But yeah, I like that idea. Maybe we're the artificial intelligence. We were created by someone else. That's definitely possible.
I was created by my mother and my father.
Yeah, you were.
You
but
were.
maybe they're robots.
I've seen
you know?
the tape.
Maybe they're robots. Can you prove that they're robots? Can you prove that they're conscious, Mike? Let's hear it. 30 seconds.
My mom, she likes the mystery hour. She listens every week. She's probably listening right now. Hi, Mom. How's it going?
Yeah.
And I just think that Robot really wouldn't have such refined taste in radio. They'd probably listen to, I don't know, like NPR or Coast to Coast AM.
All right. yeah.
Diane Rehm show.
Time's up.
I found nothing in there to support
Yeah,
the fact that you're not a robot.
I think you proved that she's probably not a robot, but I didn't hear anything there proving that
My
she's
mom
a conscious
is psychic.
being. Ah.
Or maybe
Really?
it's actually a robot that's so intelligent it can just predict the future just through
Mathematical
sheer
equations.
numbers.
Yeah,
maybe.
science could sometimes look like magic to lesser beings.
Let me just continue. Apparently, our knowledge of artificial intelligence stems from science fiction and horror movies. So let me draw from Ex Machina here.
Good movie.
Yeah, and how the robot. It's she's clearly an android, but she makes it. She's smart enough to be perceived as human.
Mhm.
Smart enough to elude those around her.
She's very attractive too, which helps.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of the movie.
She was made
She's
that
a
way.
she's a robot.
Yeah, but she's really attractive though.
Okay.
That's a big part of the movie.
No, that's a huge
It's a
part
big
of the
part of
movie.
the plot.
Yeah.
We should talk about that, though.
I don't want to spoil Ex Machina. So if you haven't seen Ex Machina, please just turn the radio down for 5 seconds. But okay, I absolutely hated the end of Ex Machina, simply because I would have totally fell for it.
Yeah,
she would have
exactly.
got me.
She would have gotten me too. It's so heart wrenching.
I fell for it. I watched the movie. I was like, they are gonna be so
Yeah.
happy together.
Me too.
And the big old muscle man came down, and he was
I-
actually the hero.
I know I would have fallen for it. There's just no way. You guys should see it. You guys would have all fallen for it.
Do you think you could love a
Not
form
now,
of artificial
I mean-
intelligence? And let's go off of Ex Machina and her.
Could I love an artificial? Okay. Have you ever? Do you know what Cortana is?
Yes.
Yes, that's from the Halo
It
series.
That's a
is.
strong yes.
I'm very in love. Unfortunately.
Well, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my first love, and that is Smarter Child. Do you remember?
Oh
the,
yeah.
the only person I would really ever, respond back to me back in the AOL Instant Messenger days, and yeah, Rob.
I think it's definitely an interesting point. I mean, is it weird to love someone who's a robot who looks like a human?
I mean, I don't think
I
it
don't
is
think
if
so.
they're like at our level of intelligence.
So do you only date people who are at your level of intelligence?
Well, I mean, relatively,
Like the human level of it.
yeah, the human level of of consciousness. Like, I'm not gonna date a toaster.
Would you date a form of?
that's what you call it.
Hey, man.
Sorry, I shouldn't diss
Yeah,
toasters.
toasters
I don't
are
want to
fine.
be a bigot. I'm sorry.
Would you date a form of artificial intelligence that is like vastly superior to your own intellect?
No, I wouldn't date a human who is vastly superior to my own
How
intellect.
come?
Because I'm
Is it intimidating?
I'm a petty person.
Because there are none.
You're,
I'm very petty and I'm very insecure about every aspect of myself in
they
my
don't
life.
exist. Nobody is smarter than me.
Not at my level.
Illogical. Star Trek.
I like to point out that Connor really does look the most like Spock out of everyone in the group.
That's a good. That's a good
They,
compliment.
the listeners
Thank
at
you.
home can see for themselves.
Yeah. There are pictures of him on Facebook.
Oh, I keep forgetting that's a security cam. And this is my bad. My bad, guys.
You know who's watching.
I've got
brother.
Joseph.
I've just got a question about AI. If they could build their own, physical form, do you think they'd build it to look like a human, or do you think they'd build it in like a completely different?
Well, going back to Ex Machina, the fact that the robot was very attractive, like in a very like biological sense to like what we evolved to see attractive in like other members of our species, it made it much easier for the robot to survive.
I just have a question about that because I haven't seen the movie. Did
Yeah.
that AI build herself, or did someone build her to look like that?
She was constructed by a what's a good word for it? Like a tech entrepreneur, maybe like a
Yeah,
fictional Elon Musk,
pretty much. I think that
a
fits
very
pretty well.
reclusive
Alright.
CEO of a big tech company.
I think Joseph's talking about robots that build themselves.
Yeah, like if I was a robot, and I built a robot. That's what I'm talking about, really.
Do you think they would improve on?
An AI building an AI.
I think it
Or a body
depends.
for itself.
If the original AI was programmed to be like a human, then yes, I think it probably would.
Yeah, so like the dark years are over, and now the robots are going to build their own civilization.
Yeah.
I truly think that they would go for maximum efficiency.
I think if they weren't programmed to be like us, they definitely would.
Right.
Yeah.
that's a good point.
I agree with you. And but if they had emotions, they might not. Maybe they have some kind of like aspect of vanity.
I don't think we'll know how to curb the AI intelligence. I think we'll just, when we hit that singularity, it's gonna be vastly more intelligent
Can
than we
I
are.
Yeah.
just,
Not bad.
for the benefit of myself, could you define singularity for me?
Yeah, a singularity is the small point inside of a black hole that we cannot reach.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
That's the other kind of singularity. Just so the listeners know. The singularity is a point where robots can improve upon themselves.
Wait.
And-
Can you
You
can you
put
just-
some music
can you just
on?
start over?
The singularity is a point in time where robots can improve upon themselves. And let's say a robot makes a robot that's twice as good as him, and then that makes a robot that's twice as good as him. So it starts expanding exponentially until the processing power is unimaginably big.
But where does it end?
It doesn't. Or I mean, I don't know that, but I mean, it's inconceivable, really. There's just no way for us to imagine what it's going to be like. It's like, I guess, like the Q from Star Trek or something. Sorry to get back to Star Trek, but that's kind of all I care about.
I'm gonna take your lunch money after this.
I like to see you tried. I can do the Vulcan death grip. Learned it from the show.
I will wrap my hands around your throat again.
Again.
The thing that I think would be truly astonishing to all humanity is when we hit that singularity. I think that robots, when you take emotion out of the equation, robots
we
would
hit-
develop society a lot quicker than we would. Like they would advance. It took
You
us
know-
thousands of years to get where we are. I think it would take them a matter of, I don't even know. It would take
Yeah,
them
not
I
long.
mean, I think
Yeah.
that's definitely a likely doomsday scenario for artificial intelligence. But I think that the point that I'm most concerned with, and I think the point that is most troubling, would come early on in the evolution of artificial intelligence, and that would simply be a form of AI that is programmed to do something beneficial, but instead it develops a destructive method for achieving the goal. For example, let's say you had like an AI Uber, right? And the goal was to get the person from point A to point B. So it just blasts through traffic, blasts through other cars, because it's not specified that the human needs to be alive or not.
Good point.
I mean, it's sort of like a far-fetched example, but basically I'm trying to paint the picture of a scenario that the AI has a goal and it doesn't take into account, it's sort of reckless. It doesn't really care about humanity and achieving the goal. And maybe it's just wonky. Maybe it's a tragedy. Dan, you have a point?
Yeah, what do you think would happen if you made an AI with intelligence and gave it no goal,
Oh, man.
just like a human?
Does it have any
Doesn't
emotion?
necessarily- Sure.
I think it would try to find God.
Oh, maybe it would try to become God.
Yeah,
think-
like it would probably make another form of artificial intelligence or find its creator.
I'm imagining kind of, I don't know what to call this, but imagine if it tried to find God, and then in the end it realized that it was God all along.
There's an interesting short
Do
story
not
about
compute. Joseph?
that. I was just saying there's a interesting short story about that Stephen Hawking told when he was trying to convey his fear of artificial intelligence. These scientists create an AI and they ask it, is there a God? And a lightning bolt strikes the outlet so it can't be turned off, and the AI says, there is now.
Oh.
That's chilling. It's a good story. All right.
I actually, I'm
what?
sorry, I have a question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
So let's say, AI, they decide, take over the planet and they kill all humans. What do they
Right.
what do they do after that?
Party.
Expand.
I don't know. It'd be kind of hard to like tell what their goal would be.
Yeah, like they take over the entire planet. It's all cool robot AI stuff.
I
doing
assume they
now?
would try to refine what they find to be most valuable, but I'm not sure what that would be.
If they were
Would it
built,
be intelligence?
yeah, possibly. If they were built, they're already incredibly intelligent. But I think if they were built like us, they would expand, colonize.
Just keep expanding throughout the universe.
Well, if they're built like us, that's what we would do.
I don't know why they would want to stay here. I mean, like, after all the humans are gone, like,
I have a question for you guys that's related to
Very
that.
egotistical
Well,
thing to
that's
say.
Okay, so the universe is trillions of years old, right? And chances are, or mathematically, there
Allegedly.
have been lots of civilizations throughout history, throughout the history of the universe. Mathematically, that makes sense. If an advanced civilization is if an advanced civilization could create an AI, then why aren't we seeing these AIs like replicating and filling the whole universe?
Maybe because the universe is simply just too big.
I mean, but if,
They haven't gotten here yet.
Well, I have a
Maybe
good
not.
reason. This is my stance on just extraterrestrials in general. I mean, we've been looking around for planets forever, and yeah, there's a infinite number of planets that could support life and all that. But my thinking is, the universe is so big that they'd be so far away that by the time they looked in their telescope and saw Earth, they would be seeing it millions or billions of years ago before the people. So why would they send out their robots to a planet that looks lifeless to them when they could just go from planet to
It's
planet?
true.
Yeah,
It's
I
true. If
mean,
they
like-
used visible light to look at Earth, they could be looking at us, thousands of millions of years ago.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
I think there's no way they would be able to get here unless I guess they could have started traveling in this direction coincidentally like 10 trillion years ago.
Yeah, a random occurrence, and that would be quite the occurrence.
well, as far as
Indeed, when you think of the vastness of the universe.
replicating like machines go, though, if the first one was made 500 billion years ago and they're replicating exponentially, that's more than enough time to fill up the whole universe.
That's
So
true.
where are they?
Yeah,
I'd like to use an
hidden
analogy.
in plain sight.
I got an analogy about this. So
What have you got for this?
it's kind of hard to imagine robots being able to be inspired, because I think that's what makes us human, is the fact that we get inspired thoughts, and then we create. So my analogy would just be, there would be no chocolate chip cookie, there'd be no happy accident with robots. So I'm not sure, that might stunt their growth quite a bit.
Sounds like that's an anti-AI campaign we'll see in like 30 years. No chocolate chip cookies.
Wait, were chocolate chip cookies an accident the first time they were made?
They were.
I didn't know that.
Ah, I didn't know that
the
either.
woman threw chocolate chips into cookie batter and expected it to turn the cookie
Well, I'm-
chocolate.
What a fool.
I have a personal philosophy on chocolate chip cookies, and I don't really want to get into it on this episode, but I do think it might have been an act of divine intervention.
Absolutely. Like one of the gods was just like, we need to help him along here.
They are
Yeah.
divine.
This one.
They're very good.
I think it'd be a,
So
a
good.
butterfly effect thing. Like, really put us on the right path.
Ooh.
You saying put butterflies in
Oh.
cookies?
Oh, that'd be delicious.
No, I'm saying butterfly effect.
Oh, Ashton Kutcher. We put Ashton Kutcher
Yeah.
in the cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
And then he goes back in time.
No
and he
cookie.
wakes
Or
up and
Ashton Kutcher.
He tries to drown himself in the tub when he doesn't have any arms or legs.
It's possible we wouldn't have AlphaGo and Tay and DeepMind without the invention of the chocolate chip cookie.
Or Ashton
That is
Kutcher.
possible. Or, yeah, that's a good
I
point.
noticed you said that after he said invented. Are you suggesting that Ashton Kutcher is actually a robot? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
I think we
mean,
can all be. What? This is a little kind of off topic. What movie or film is it where they keep referring to robot as a racial slur? Does anyone have any idea what that
Is it AI?
When was this
Wall-E?
movie a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. Was it AI? I think it was. With the little boy and the teddy
Oh,
bear.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
that Teddy.
And the
Maybe.
kid and the girl gets her face melted off with acid, the robot. It's amazing.
None of that.
I
sounds
don't think
familiar to
they. I don't think that's
That was
it.
a depressing movie.
Yeah, it was. It's really good though.
That's a good one.
Well, I think they're using it as they're saying it was a negative term because robot might mean slave in a different language.
Like a sheep, if you mean, like, just following the herd.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, was it I Am Legend? No, I meant
I think it was. I
the
think
other
it
Will
was.
Smith. The other Will Smith one. I
Well,
remember.
Let me just query the
Was it?
database. Yeah, I can't find anything.
Where you get it's I Am Legend, isn't it?
Too bad.
I love in I Am Legend how the way you differentiate between all the bad, demon. What are they? They're mutated
Vampires.
people, right?
There's zombies.
Yeah,
Vampires.
the way you differentiate between
Vampires.
all of them and their leader is the leader is the only one wearing a jacket.
Well, that's how we differentiate.
Yeah, I do.
us.
I do believe the ending of the film was different than the original story.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like both endings.
Oh, you know it? Okay.
Yeah. Should I say
Yeah,
it?
You should
please.
go
We
with
can't
it.
just mention it.
It's a good ending.
Okay, so when the jog my memory, in the end of the movie, he dies, right? Or does
Right,
he?
yeah, right after he kills his dog.
Okay.
As you should.
In the book, oh man, it's been a long time. He
So-
dies in a very different
So
way.
yeah, so he has a female of the species
Mhm.
held captive.
And she's actually one of them.
Yeah,
In the movie, she's not.
oh, I thought she was in the movie.
She was in the movie.
I thought in the movie
Well,
she
okay.
just found shelter and was fine.
I can't look at because I just remember him blowing up, but in the book, he finds out that he's the bad guy because he kidnapped
That's
this
what it
member
is.
of their species.
Yeah.
It's more
Hold on,
like
hold on.
poignant.
There was a
Thank you.
there was a bigger theme there at the end of the
Mhm.
book, which was the disease that took over humanity and turned them into vampires. That's what happened in the book. They turned into vampires. They could speak. They were intelligent.
Mhm.
In the book, he got captured by the vampires and put into a cage. And it ended with them pointing and laughing at him because he was now the odd one out.
That's what it is.
and
yeah.
they were the new society.
Ooh.
They thought he was the freak. They thought he was scary because he was running around like killing them in what he thought was defense.
Exactly. Well, I mean, they wanted to drink. His
Yeah,
blood.
it was
The
defense.
book
yeah.
was terrifying. They were intelligent. They would like stand outside of his house at night and call things to him to try and get him to come out.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
friend, right? His old friend would be like, "Come on."
It was like his
out."
neighbor.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was his friend. I don't think he actually liked him.
They had that like one part when they like pulled up with an ice cream truck, and it was been quite some time since society collapsed, so the little ice cream truck jingle was sort of dilapidated and just kept chugging along like. That,
Yeah.
is that I Am Legend?
Did that happen?
I don't remember that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
That's a thing.
It was 11:48, which means it's time for our second break. I'm Roy Michaels, and you're listening to the Mystery Hour on 91.9 FM, WMEB, Orono, Maine. We'll be back with more AI shortly.
You're charging your battery and now we're full of energy. We are the robots. We are the robots. We are the robots. We are
Mom, my french fries in your ears.
I am not putting French fries in my ears. Why would I do that?
Guys, like this. Just put them in your ear.
Okay, all right, like this.
Mom, put them in your nose and you'll look like a walrus.
Okay, all right. I am a walrus. Oh, silly.
Kids are special. Let's treat them that way.
Okay. Mom, now you have to say I like french fries without using the first letter in a low voice.
Wait, without the first letter. All right, so you say it with me, but you say it in a high voice. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
At St. Baldrick's, we want kids to be kids. Not just when playing with their food, but when they need us most. When they need help fighting cancer. That's why the advanced research we fund is specifically designed to help children.
I like French fries. Okay, now do the opposite. 1, 2, 3.
I like french fries.
Support St. Baldrick's and childhood cancer research today by going to stbaldricks.org and get involved.
Hello. You are listening to WMEB 91.9 FM Orono, Maine. I'm Robot Michaels.
Oh,
Welcome
thank you.
back.
Thank you,
to the
Robot
Mystery
Michaels. You're doing a great job tonight, buddy.
Robot Michaels.
Do you think I'm pretty?
What?
Connor is bad.
Yeah, easy now,
Friend
Robot
little
Michaels.
Dingus, Stan.
Hey, we have to
Wham
get back
wham
on
wuzzy,
topic.
what happened in Benghazi? I'm a helicopter soy
Can someone just please? Can someone just shut down Robot Michaels? Can we just do that?
Father,
Robot Michaels.
don't let them hurt me.
I'm so sorry.
Tonight in the Mystery Hour, we are exploring the concept of artificial intelligence, including its benefit and threat to humanity. Lately, many giants of the tech world have become sort of artificial intelligence harbingers of doom. Stephen Hawking recently told the BBC that the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk referred to the creation of artificial intelligence as summoning the demon, and Bill Gates postulated that once you start to make machines that are rivaling and surpassing humans with intelligence, it's going to be very difficult for us to survive. Now, Connor, what do you think we should be worried about here, and what do you think we should do to react?
I don't know if we can do anything really. It's inevitably going to happen.
Yeah, and that's true, but like, what sort of measures could we set in stone now to sort of cautiously move forward into a world with artificial intelligence?
Maybe give it a set of guidelines that every AI must have. Like from the movie, like iRobot.
Yeah, because that worked out.
Yeah, that worked out. It is a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, one strategy I found that I thought was pretty cool. There's a non-profit organization which Elon Musk is actually involved with, called OpenAI, and it's a like a NGO, and part of it is to make sure that artificial intelligence is not centralized, because if one entity had, power over the artificial intelligence, it would be vastly superior to the rest of us, and it would affect our democracies, it would affect our society. This person would just have too much power on their side. So what OpenAI wants to do is spread artificial intelligence across a broad region, put it in the hands of more people, if you will, and I thought that was a good approach.
That's a good approach. That's,
Yeah. I mean, I like that idea a lot. It makes a lot of sense.
We could have done that with nuclear arms.
Yeah.
I guess we kind of
Would prevent
did somewhat. Yeah.
We did. It wasn't our intention, but it just sort of happened. You know,
It's worked
like
pretty
the
well.
chocolate chip cookie
Yeah.
took off.
It's spectacular.
Shot off right in that oven.
Chocolate chip cookie
Yeah.
or a thin mint.
Chocolate chip cookie.
I really don't like Thin Mints.
Me neither.
I'm
mint
a
guy.
Thin
alright.
Mint guy.
I like mint and gum.
You look like a thin mint guy.
Yeah, mint gum's good, but no.
Mint gum is gross.
But then again, I've never had chocolate chip cookie gum.
Zebra stripe gum. The AIs will love that, I guarantee
Yeah,
you, because
I
I love it.
I have another question to sort of throw at you guys. So, speaking on stage at Recode's Code Conference in regard to the development of AI, Elon Musk, I'm so sorry, Mr. Musk. Elon Musk stated that there's only one AI company that worries him. Who do you think? Who do you think it is? Because I think it might be Google.
I was going to assume Google.
Yeah.
Google
probably
knows
Skynet.
so much about us. It'd be terrifying if Google became the first company to develop artificial intelligence.
It knows the best and the worst of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I like their slogan, though. Do no evil.
Google. Yeah, that's
Is
a
that- is
great
that a
slogan
slogan?
for an evil corporation.
really is. It really
Do no evil.
That's
Yeah.
like for the greater good.
Yeah, for
It's
the
a
greater
sketchy-
good.
It's a sketchy one.
That's true.
Oh, God.
Well, what is it? Do you know?
I don't know. He
Oh.
he didn't want to. He wasn't at
Oh.
liberty.
He didn't want to give away the
say it.
surprise.
I don't know.
Could be Microsoft,
I was about to say, I think it's a computer company, or a
Amazon,
or a cell provider,
a cell provider.
like a data provider, because they have like, okay, give me here. They have all your information,
I'm giving it to you.
all your contact information. They have a camera pointed directly at your noggin and in front of you.
Actually, you could argue that those are all owned by Google if, say, you have an Android phone like I do. I mean,
That's
your
true.
contacts are all synced with your email account, your camera. If someone's going to turn it on, it'd probably be Google.
But why is it advantageous to have access to that sort of data?
Because it puts you in a position for a master stroke.
Yeah, imagine how you could manipulate people if you knew that much about them.
Yeah, like if Google, showed a guy all of my my search history, that guy could perfectly tailor his personality to become my best friend. Like, oh man, you like that too? Like he could just slip into my life
Exactly.
and We have the same interests, and he's also very nurturing of my insecurities that are likely very evident through my search history.
Yeah. Now imagine Google pulls something like that off with the president.
Is the president allowed to Google though? Do you know if that's a thing?
That's a thing.
I think the president uses Bing.
I
No,
don't
he
think we
does
should
not.
slander
Yes,
our
he
president
paid
here.
off.
Okay, what is this?
Bing's only good for one thing, and I can't say it on air.
Oh, don't.
I'm not going to say it. It's not some horrible thing. It's
That
just,
is
you know,
very
it's
suspenseful.
just not, you're not allowed to say it on air.
What is it?
I can.
Just
Spell it.
Everyone knows.
Tell us after.
I'm going to. I'm not going to say
Could
it.
you say it without any consonants, and then we'll guess?
Could you
no,
actually
don't.
write it on a piece of paper?
You know when you're sexually attracted to something and you look it up? It's like that.
What?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
That's as close as I can get. So let's move on. Let's move on.
I'll let you bring the final question home, Connor.
I'm going to bring the final. How much time do we have left?
We have 3 minutes.
Okay, quick question. Do you think there's something special about the human consciousness that just can't be replicated in an artificial brain?
Love.
Love.
I mean,
Shut up.
Is there like a soul? You know, something
I said
like
the
that.
answer. I said the answer.
Yeah, well, we're moving on.
Well, I
Around
think
the table.
a form of artificial intelligence could be very human, especially if it forgot that it was artificial. Like if it just thought it was like the rest of us, it would live and learn with us.
Is it just mimicking though?
Live, laugh, and love with us.
I think I would be truly impressed if a robot could like create beautiful music, because I think that's something that comes from like the soul of a human. So I think a robot could do like normal, uninspired music, but for it to create truly like inspired, like masterpiece, then I'd be scared.
Do you think it's possible though?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think
sure
They
either.
could trick. I don't know.
it's a fine line between telling if they're mimicking and if it's just what they're doing.
I mean, we might be mimicking
yeah.
You know what's kind of scary?
and not know it.
I don't know why I thought of this, but imagine there was a loving robot and it wanted to tickle you, but it just didn't gauge right of how hard to tickle.
Yeah, no, exactly that.
Yeah, it's a really good example.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
You say stop.
Why are you not laughing?
Yeah, or you keep laughing, uncontrollably, right?
Yeah, and it's programmed to just keep
Yeah,
going.
it thinks you're having a good time.
Yeah, and then you laugh to death.
You laugh to death.
Laugh to death.
And then it
Mhm.
just like tickles you until you're just like a red mush.
This has been such a funny show tonight, such a great show. I'm afraid the drivers listening to the radio right now might laugh themselves to
Oh,
death.
there's at least 10 to 20.
I just,
Yeah,
I
the
don't
series
want,
of accidents tonight.
Yeah,
in
Nobody
history.
should
if you
do
are
that.
if you are driving tonight, ask your car a question real quick, one question when no one's listening, just to make sure it's not an AI, because it is a robot.
Mhm. And make sure you look at the road. Don't look at the radio. I know it's very interesting. And you want to look at the radio when we're on the air. Look at the road.
Yeah, I always actually look at the radio when I listen to
Yeah, I
to
do
radio.
too. It's
I just
weird.
love WMEB 91.9 FM Orono, Maine. I want to sit down with it. I want to look at it, and I just want to just hang out. I want to be with it.
You know, you can help you with that though. If you want to look at the road, draw a face on the windshield, so it looks like there's a face you can look at and you can converse with.
I'm worried though that I would look in my side view mirror, right, or my rear view even, and then I would forget about the face on my windshield and just scream and veer off the road.
There is going to be a brief adjustment period.
Or people passing you will look in your windshield and see that face on your face.
I used to have a Bigfoot air freshener, right? So you have this little Hanen Sasquatch down from my rear view, and at night it would scare me because it would often look like a pedestrian in the road.
Oh, okay.
man.
ahead of
I didn't
me.
know where you were
Yeah.
going with that.
I'd like to point out too that Robbie Keane over there in Studio B on many occasions has pulled that prank on me and the rest of the crew.
What-
Yeah, sneaks up by the side window when I'm pulling out of his
yeah.
driveway. He even got in the back of my car one time.
I bailed on that one because I thought you would crash.
Yeah, I think you would have really scared me. Like,
I knew
bad.
it was going to get you the most I've ever gotten.
I'm
in
gonna
my body.
sneak under your bed, and when you get out of bed, I'm gonna grab your leg.
My brother did that to me, and it was the worst time of my life.
Is that the reason you are the way you are?
Yeah. I keep my bed on the floor.
I mean, you're great, so I feel like he did you a favor.
This isn't a closing thought, not yet, but this is a
It
thought.
needs to be.
Closing thought, Robbie.
I'll make it brief, Roy. So you know how some computers you can envelop them in like mineral oil.
Right.
Yeah. I love
Like
the idea.
envelope?
For what purpose?
It's for cooling.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
instead of getting fans in
I-
your computer, you like submerge it in a liquid.
Mhm.
It's really cool.
It doesn't like short circuit the electronics at all.
But I love the thought of an AI having like some sort of like almost organic liquid going. through
I
it.
love the thought of like your mom pounding on your door.
Oh, that's-
Robbie,
that's
what's
emotional.
going on? And you are just, I can't, Mom. I'm enveloping my computer in mineral oil.
Covered with oil.
Yeah, don't bother doing it, by the way, because it's just a mess.
Mom, it's all
Really no good
Hold
reason.
on.
Is that the closing
I was just
statement?
beginning to love.
I hate your robot
I
voice.
mean, watch out for Robo DJ.
I kind of want to say a few thoughts on Robo DJ.
Okay.
I am skeptical of Robo DJ because what Robo DJ performs is something that I'm unable to do, and that is just hours of uninterrupted broadcasting, great music, plays all the top of the hour stuff and the PSAs and the promos on point. I think it's truly, an extension of our humanity.
Mm-hmm.
For a while I was driving around during the summer and not many shows were going on here at the station because it is a student-run station. Many people were gone. And it was just me and Robo DJ. And, eventually at first I began to detest Robo DJ because it was always Robo DJ, playing the same mix of indie rock and blues. But, eventually I think Robo DJ might be my friend.
Really?
Yeah.
We were just 3 hours ago. We were out protesting in front of Fogler.
That's true, yeah. Well, I don't trust Robo DJ yet.
Oh,
And to put some context on that, that's the library at the University of Maine.
yes. Sorry.
Right here in Orono.
Great library. Lots of books
Nerd.
and all kinds of stuff.
But anyway, Robo DJ is up next. It is 12:03, which means the mystery hour has come to a close. If you like what you heard, we'll be on at the same time right here on WMEB 91.9 FM Orono, Maine at 11 p.m. next week. And we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Midnight Mystery Hour, where you can find some of our pre-recorded episodes as well as some very fantastic mystery memes. And you can also comment. We'd like to hear of your encounters with the paranormal, and we'd also like for you to berate us so we may improve our show.
Yeah. Put anything at all on the Facebook wall. We'll probably talk about
Anything at all, please.
it. Jump on it.
If you need any inspiration, Robbie has a very big nose you can make fun of.
Talk about that.
Oh.
I look very trollish.
Usually I'm the one who gets stuck with that nose comment.
Oh, Connor, Robbie, you can just go for nose.
Yeah, but it's proportional
Who
to
knows
my
best?
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, paranormal experiences and very harsh criticism. That's the two things we're really looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can also go to the website, themysteryour.org, and
I forgot about that.
stream the show live.
I don't think that's a possibility.
Oh, it's not.
I don't
We were going to
think-
set that up. I guess we're not going to now.
we are not going
Oh,
to do
okay.
that.
Well, you can hear pre-recorded episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
But anyway, I'd like to thank Jimmy Ozog for composing several original tracks for use here on the Mystery Hour. I'd like to thank the wonderful people behind the scenes at WMEB for making this show possible, and many others, and helping us grow along the way. And of course, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for staying up late with your radio until midnight. Robo DJ's up next. I'm Ray Michaels, and you're just listening to the Mystery Hour on WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. It's 12:05. We'll see you next week.
Lose my legs and arms, rather lose my legs and arms than to give up.